May I request the students and teachers of the School of Performing and Visual Arts, IGNOU, to render the traditional invocation.
Today is Teachers' Day. Let me first of all wish all the teachers best wishes and congratulations on the occasion of the Teachers' Day. It is the vision and guidance of the true teacher which makes this world happier. It's my proud privilege to welcome you all to the 24th Convocation of Indira Gandhi National Open University. I thank His Holiness the Dalai Lama for accepting university's conferment upon him the honorary doctorate degree. A noble follower of peace, ahimsa, and harmony, His Holiness epitomizes the promotion of human values such as compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, contentment, and self-discipline, with a belief that all human beings are the same and that all want happiness. His Holiness recognizes that even people who do not believe in religion recognize the importance of human values in making their life happier. His Holiness refers to these human values as secular ethics and remains committed to the importance of these human values. His Holiness has been a champion of peace and an ardent believer of nonviolence. Let me, on behalf of the university and on my personal behalf, welcome His Holiness Dalai Lama to this convocation. I have the honor of presenting His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, the spiritual leader of Tibet and a crusader of peace, for the award of degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa of the Indira Gandhi National Open University. A noble follower of peace, ahimsa, and harmony, His Holiness epitomizes the promotion of human values such as compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, contentment, and self-discipline, with a belief that all human beings are the same and that all want happiness and not suffering. His Holiness recognizes the fact that even people who do not believe in religion recognize the importance of these human values in making their life happier. His Holiness refers to these human values as secular ethics and remains committed to the importance of these human values. His Holiness has been a champion of peace and an ardent believer of nonviolence. His Holiness began his monastic education at the age of 6, which included logic, Tibetan art and culture, Sanskrit, medicine, and Buddhist philosophy, which was further divided into 5 categories. Prajna Parimita, the perfection of wisdom; Madhyamika, the philosophy of middle way; Vinaya, the canon of monastic discipline; Abhidharma, metaphysics; and Pramana, logic and epistemology. By the age of 23, he passed with honors and was awarded the Geshe Larba degree, the highest level degree equivalent to a doctorate of Buddhist philosophy. In recognition to the cause of universal peace and harmony, His Holiness was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his non-violent struggle for the liberation of Tibet in 1989. His commitments to the philosophy of non-violence and ahimsa have been recognized world over. His Holiness has received over 84 awards and honorary doctorates in recognition of his message for peace, non-violence, interreligious faith, and Understanding Universal Responsibility and Compassion, and has authored more than 72 books. The Indira Gandhi National Open University deems it a privilege and honor to confer upon His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama the degree of Doctor of Letters honoris causa in recognition of his outstanding contributions to the world peace and development and for his devotion in taking forward the Charter of Nonviolence and Ahimsa across the globe. Congratulations and best wishes.
Today, she makes it that Goshu. Yeah, that Sola Lava Dene entered the Naya to Senduna, the Sendu Gasu, Chipana Chagi Rizna, but the Hashan Gabuson to Sisi Shui.
Today, on this very important occasion, with this university playing a very significant role, I'm extremely happy to have here, and thank you very much for awarding this doctorate degree, honorary doctorate degree to me.
Now, I would like to express through my broken English in order to sort of save time. Indeed, I feel great honor also to honor the degree from this as an institution. I have been once in your center. I really very much impressed. So, I am I myself consider lazy student, but got this, again, one more honorary degree. Great honor, without much sort of effort for study. But get that kind of degree, great honor. Thank you. Then I would like to express my sincere congratulations to those students who got diploma, a degree, as a result of your own effort. So it is really a wonderful occasion. Now you can take more time for rest or holiday. Now one important thing I would like to express or stress. Education which you got is like instrument. Now whether that instrument use constructive way, destructive way, up to your own warm-heartedness. So education, awareness, much related with our brain. Then there is instrument, useful instrument, in order to utilize in constructive way, much depend on our warm-heartedness here. So please pay some attention about warm-heartedness. So long warm-heartedness there, that means sense of concern of others' well-being. That is there. The extreme self-centered blindness, sort of self-centered attitude reduces. So as a result, you get more inner strength. More inner strength, your conduct carry transparently, truthfully, honestly. Through that way, you can build trust from rest of your community. On the basis of trust, we can build friendship. The friendly community with full of friendship, that community will be very happy community. A community even very rich, but full of suspicion, distrust. You cannot be happy person among that community. That's something, nature law. So more inner strength, honest, truthful they are. That is the essential of moral ethics. Whether believer or non-believer is different, sort of secondary. The basic thing is moral ethics. I usually stress that moral ethics is the basis of happy individual, happy family, happy community, and ultimately happy humanity. Without moral ethics, even an individual may not be a happy person. Always too much anxiety, fear, like that. So moral ethics are not just something,
So moral ethics is not something that can be counted just as precious.
Moral ethics is the practical level, the basis of our happy life, successful life, and a happy community. So sometimes, unfortunately, on this planet, number of people really consider money, material facility is more important than moral ethics. If that kind of attitude increase, that's really a disaster of humanity. So, everywhere pay much attention about education. But equally, we must pay more attention about moral ethics if you want happy world, happy community, happy family. So that I want to share with you, and particularly this country, Bharat, India, most populated, stable, democratic country with long history, very sophisticated cultural heritage. 1,000 years, you have the tradition of ahimsa and tradition of religious harmony. These two things are not only ancient tradition, but also very relevant to today's world. Look, 20th century become century of bloodshed, century of violence. If that, through that immense violence, really brought the world, better world, then there could be some legitimacy, justification about the violence. But that is not the case. Therefore, the immense violence simply brought a lot of pains, suffering, and also some of the unhealthy situation in the beginning of 21st century. It's a symptom or negligence or mistake in the past 20th century. Now, we must make every effort on all levels to create this century, 21st century, should be peaceful century. Peaceful does not mean no longer any problem. No, problem there. So therefore, the peaceful world means whenever we face problem, we must try to solve the problem through peaceful means, through dialogue, through understanding. So since India have the long tradition of ahimsa and religious harmony, I think India has greater potential to show world, to lead world, non-violent way, non-violent principle. For that, of course, prayer, meditation, also sort of some importance in that field. But the main thing is your sort of concept or education. So I think particularly this sort of institution, there are large number of people, young people, getting opportunity to education. It's wonderful. It is really big contribution for development of this country. And since this country, very important nation of the world, so you can make significant contribution for better world. So please, this younger generation must have vision, not only think your own area, but think beyond Indian border, whole world, whole Asia, whole world. That's very important. So that I want to share with you. And then I think you made, special effort in this yellow, what's it? Yellow rope. Thank you very much. So, then I sort of feel great honor to mention the opening of Tibetan studies. That's very, very, sort of, for me, very excited thing. I mean, no.
Tibetan Studies open. Center for Tibetan Studies open.
No.
Center for Tibetan Studies.
Center for Tibetan Studies.
open.
It's very good. I really feel great honor to state that, or to declare that I myself, as I mentioned earlier, quite a lazy student. So although this field of subject which I study, quite a number like Buddhist logics and also mentioned Sanskrit, I just pick a few words of Sanskrit. And then basically I study the one important text of Sanskrit, Kalapa. I learned the first chapter about the grammar. So that's all. So in any way, when you say Tibetan study, actually all the important subject is Indian sort of, the traditional treasure. Buddhist logic, Buddhist epistemology, Buddhist philosophy, all these things, mainly the tradition of Nalanda. So your tradition, I often, you see, expressing, you Indian, historically, our Guru, we are Chela. Meantime, I also mentioned we are quite reliable Chela. That means last over 1,000 years, the hum of Nalanda tradition, lot of ups and downs. During these centuries, during this period, we, your Chela, kept all your ancient thought, ancient treasure, preserved intactly. So that, I think, sufficient reason to call Tibetan ourselves as a reliable Chela of Indian Guru. So now it looks all your treasure, which we study, practice, and our whole way of life follow according to these sort of teachings. Last 1,000 years, we kept these traditions alive. Now time come to return to original sort of place of the original source. And anyway, quite strange. Now, Chela teaching our Guru. So anyway, we are very happy, you see, having this, so the new study. So very good. And then, sometimes the people get the impression, the whole, about 300 volumes of Buddhist text, which translated from India, mainly from Sanskrit and some Pali, and very few books translated from Chinese. Otherwise, all the rest of the over 300 volumes translated from India. Usually, you see, people get the impression these 300 volumes, more than 300 volumes, are some kind of Buddhist text. I think I always make clear. So, contents of these 300 volumes, actually 3 parts. Science, mainly inner science, mind, emotions. The very system of the human psychology. Very precisely, you see, mentioned. That actually, science, nothing to do with positive and negative. Just to explain what is reality. So that I consider science part. Then second part, concept. Like the basis of the reality momentarily changing. On the basis of that reality, the concept of impermanence comes. Then also, in the reality, things are interrelated, interconnected. So therefore, the one concept of interdependency, or concept of absence of independent existence. So these are simply concepts. So then third part, religion, Buddhist religion, how to pray, how to meditate, how to carry our contact, these things. That is Buddhist religion. So I hope this study eventually, more people, more institutions, I think, can follow the study of science, inner science. Even Western scientists, top scientists, very well respected scientists, now last 30 years, gradually paying more attention about information of mind or emotion which content in Buddhist literature. I am also meeting with scientists, not as a sort of discussion about Buddhism, but science, about particularly inner science, which mentioned in Buddhist literature as a science, not as a Buddhist part of Buddhism, like that. So the science and concept or philosophy, these can be universal. Buddhist religion never be universal. Any religion, no matter how sort of good, never can be universal. But science and concept of philosophy, naturally, it's a universal. So I hope, your sort of the newly established sort of center eventually can sort of show more institutions the usefulness of study about science or inner science, which modern science is still very much sort of in initial stage. Compare Indian ancient psychology, Indian ancient science of mind, the Western science, of course, up to recently, science really focusing about external things. They never carry experiment on scientists themselves. Now, later part of 20th century, some scientists now begin to investigate their own mind, their own brain, with brain relations about emotions, these things. So, the material or information which consists in ancient Indian literature, and particularly in Buddhist literature, I think can be very useful. So, I feel very happy, you see, to open such sort of center. I am quite sure this center can be something like seed, decade by decade. I think this center can be very useful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Holiness, for the profound speech. We will be recording and printing this speech and distributing to all our students across the country. Now may I request Honorable Minister of State for HRD, Dr. Purandeshwariji, to award the gold medals to some of our meritorious students. And interventions carried out under the discipline of child development of the School of Continuing Education.
भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा जल जल तरंग तव शुभ नाम जाने तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा